Hey guys, welcome to the mat. My name is Riva. I'm a yoga and Pilates instructor based right near New York City, and I'm so excited to be here today with the Wellness Experience. Now, I know the theme of today's event is healthy heart, healthy life, and while most people typically think of yoga as a series of exercises for stretching and flexibility, the truth is that yoga is really great for our heart as well. Studies have shown that a regular yoga practice can increase circulation and blood flow, can help lower blood pressure, heart rate, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. Now, I found yoga at a time in my life when I really needed it. I was 24 years old. I was working full-time as a software developer and spending so many hours a day sitting at the computer, working, and I had just become a new mom. So needless to say, I was pretty overwhelmed and stressed and very tired. Beginning a regular yoga practice taught me a lot. It taught me not only that I was so much stronger than I realized, but it also showed me how to find calm and focus on the mat and how to apply that to life circumstances off the mat. It also made me realize that taking the time for myself every week really did help me become a better mother. We're going to begin today's practice in just a moment. Some of the things that I'd recommend you have handy for a practice would be a yoga mat and 1 or 2 yoga blocks if you have them. And if not, you can also use some tissue boxes or thick books, anything similar in size. And lastly, a towel or blanket or cushion might also come in handy. Again, these are just optional, but you might find them useful for today's practice. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and begin in a comfortably seated position with the legs crossed. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, go ahead and grab 1 or both of those yoga blocks or the cushion or pillow and sit on top of that. Place your palms down on top of the knees. Go ahead and close your eyes and just begin to take a few slow, easy breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're just taking a moment to connect to the breath. I like to begin all of my practices this way. Just gives me a moment to be in the right mindset for the practice, to remind myself to be present, and to let go of any expectations I might have coming onto the mat. Inhale and lower your shoulders down from your ears. And exhale, soften your jaw, maybe sit a little taller. Inhale. Feel the body grounding down and connecting to the earth. Exhale, feel a little lighter. We're going to take a couple more breaths just like that. Eyes are closed, shoulders are relaxed. And then slowly blink your eyes open. We're going to start warming up with a few neck circles. So inhale, tuck the chin to the chest. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, gaze up at the sky. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And just moving at your own pace, taking a few more circles just like that, and syncing the movement with the breath. One more circle in this direction. And then let's reverse the direction of the next circle. So inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. And then just continue circling in that direction a few more times, connecting your movement to your breath. One more circle in this direction. And then head comes up and we're going to begin circling the torso in a clockwise direction. So inhale and exhale as you circle the spine around. I like to imagine that my torso or my spine is this handle of a really long spoon, and my legs are a bowl of porridge, and I'm just mixing the porridge with my torso, circling it around. And we're going to reverse the direction of those circles. Again, moving with the breath, taking it nice and slow. One more circle. And then coming to a neutral spine, place your right hand down on the ground next to you. Inhale your left arm up and over to the right. Inhale, find some length. Make sure your left hip is grounding down and not lifting up off the floor. Exhale, maybe spiral the heart, gazing up at the sky. Feel those left fingertips reach a little further for the ceiling. And then exhale the left hand down onto the ground, and inhale, reach the right fingertips up and over to the left. Grounding down through that right hip. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, spiral the heart, gazing up past your right arm at the sky. Exhale, lower that right hand, place it behind you. Take your left hand, place it just on top of your right knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, twist to the right, looking behind you over your right shoulder. With each inhale, see if you can sit a little taller, and with each exhale, see if you can twist just a little deeper. And then coming back to center, place your left hand behind you, right hand on top of your left knee. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to the left, gazing over your left shoulder. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Beautiful. Let's come on to our hands and knees, coming into a tabletop position. So we want to place the wrists directly under the shoulders, and the knees are directly under the hips. We're going to warm up the spine with a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, reach the tailbone up for the sky, sink the belly low, shoulders come back, chest comes forward, gazes up at the sky, cow pose, arching the back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Tuck the chin, press the floor away with your hands. Cat pose. Inhaling back to cow, tailbone lifts. Arching the back, gazing up, shoulders come back, chest comes forward. And exhale back to cat, tucking and rounding and pushing the floor away. One more round, inhaling to cow and arching and exhaling back to cat and rounding. Let's come to a neutral spine here. We're going to float that right leg up, knees bend, and then just begin to take nice big circles with that knee, moving in one direction, thinking about making these circles as big as we can. So we want a full range of motion here. Moving with the breath, pushing the floor away with our hands, and then begin to reverse the direction of those knee circles. Let's do one more, just like that. Beautiful. Extend the right leg back behind you, tucking the toes and reaching the heel for the back of the room, and then maybe rocking back and forth. We're stretching out the back of that right leg. You should feel a really good stretch in the calf and the right Achilles. This is one of my favorite stretches. Great. Lift that right leg up so it's parallel to the ground. Really push the floor away. Engage your core muscles and see if you can float your left hand. Reach the fingertips for the front of the room. So find some extension with that right leg and space with the left fingers reaching in the opposite direction, pushing the floor away with the right hand, using the core to stabilize, and slowly lower down. Beautiful. Let's lift that leg up, knee bent, and we're going to begin to take those knee circles on the left side. Moving with the breath, thinking nice big circles here. And then reversing the direction of those circles. One more. And then extend that left leg back, tuck the toes and reach the heel for the back of the room. Maybe rock forward and back, feeling that nice stretch on the left leg. Great. Float the left leg up so it's parallel to the ground. Engage your core, press strongly into your left hand and see if you can reach the right fingertips for the front of the room. So finding that same extension with the right fingertips reaching forward and the left toes reaching back. Lengthen extension and lower down. Beautiful. Let's tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. We're moving into our first downward facing dog of today's practice. So keep it gentle, maybe pedal the legs and walk the dog. Keep a nice bend in the knees. Hands are shoulder width apart. Fingers are spread wide, but not too wide. Weight is distributed evenly into both hands. And we're emphasizing especially the thumb and the first finger. Elbows are hugging in towards one another. Shoulder blades are widening apart. Heels are reaching for the ground, even if the knees are bent. Hips are not only lifting up, but also reaching for the back of the room. Taking a moment to find some stillness right here in our down dog. Feel the energy moving up from the palms of the hands, up the forearms, and into the shoulders, and up, extending out through the hips. Bend the knees, come up onto the toes, and just begin to tiptoe your way to the front of the mat. And when you get to the front of your mat, keep your feet about hip width apart. Hold on to opposite elbows, bend the knees, and just sway from side to side, releasing any tension you might have in the low back here, ragdoll pose. And maybe shaking the head, nodding the head yes and no. Releasing any tension you might feel in the neck. Beautiful. And with the knees bent, release the hands, engage the core, and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming to standing. And we're going to take some nice big arm circles, bringing the arms up and back and around. Again, think of full range of motion here. Nice big arm circles, lubricating the shoulder joint. Moving with the breath, and then reversing the direction of those arm circles. Feeling things begin to warm up throughout the body. And then let's take the hands to prayer pose in front of the heart, standing at the front of our mat. Close your eyes for a moment. Maybe set an intention for today's practice if that's something you'd like to do. Just reminding ourselves to be present, mindful in our practice. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms up, ground down through the feet. Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips. With a straight spine, slowly begin to fold forward into Uttanasana, forward bend. Hands can be on the shins. They can also be on the yoga blocks right here. Or they can be on the ground. Whatever you find comfortable for today's practice. Try to keep the spine nice and straight. And then inhale halfway up. Exhale, step the right foot back, gently lower the right knee down, coming into a low lunge. Just taking a moment to check out our alignment. We want to have that left knee directly over that left ankle. Inner thighs are engaged and hugging inward towards one another. Low back is not arched, so go ahead and tuck the tailbone gently. Inhale, left hand's going to come to the inside of that left knee. Right arm's going to reach up and gently over towards the left. So you should feel a nice stretch throughout the right side and into that right hip flexor. Inhale, come up, lower that right hand down, either onto the ground or maybe even onto a yoga block next to that left foot. Inhale that left arm up and then back behind you. Now you can stay here, or if you want to add a little quad stretch, you can go ahead and reach for the top of that right foot with your left hand. Inhale and exhale, gaze back over your left shoulder. So we're in a low lunge with a twist right now. Taking a moment right here. One more breath. And then release the foot if you're holding on to it. We're going to place both hands either onto the mat or our yoga blocks and send the hips back so that the right hip is over that right knee, left leg is straight, left foot is really actively flexing. So those left toes are reaching up for the sky. We're coming into Ardha Hanuman or half split. It's a great stretch for the left hamstring. Inhale, lengthen the spine nice and straight. Exhale, fold over that left leg for one. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the hips, down for two. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold and hold it here. Keep that left leg really active, so toes are still flexed here. Try and keep that spine nice and straight and long. Again, if the hands don't comfortably reach the ground, just place the yoga blocks under your hands. One more breath here. Inhale, coming up, sending that left foot back, coming into a plank pose. Lowering down to the knees, the chest, and the chin, and then inhaling up to a cobra pose. So the thighs, the knees, the tops of the feet, and the hips are all on the ground, pressing down actively. The hands are right under the shoulders. Elbows are reaching for the back of the room, shoulders are reaching back, and chest is reaching forward as you gently press into the hands, reaching and lifting up. Gaze is slightly up. There should be no strain in the neck. One more breath here. And we're going to tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, and come in back to downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Again, feel free to keep a nice bend in the knees here, but reach those heels for the ground. Distributing the weight evenly, pressing down into both hands. One more breath here. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, gaze to the front of the mat, and then exhale, either walk or jump your feet towards the hands. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. We're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. Inhale, arms up, Tadasana. Exhale, hinging at the hips, coming to our forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale and lengthen the spine halfway up. Exhale, step the left foot back and gently lower that left knee down, coming into our low lunge. Taking a minute to set ourselves up. Right knee is over that right ankle. Inner thighs are engaged and hugging in towards the midline. Low back is not arched. Right hand comes to the inside of that right knee. Inhale, left arm up and over to the right for a gentle side stretch. Coming back up and lowering that left hand down onto the ground or onto a yoga block. Inhale, right arm reaches up and then back. Staying here or maybe grabbing hold of your left foot and kicking your foot into your hand. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, twist a little deeper, looking over your right shoulder. One more breath here. Release the foot. Send the hips back, moving into our Ardha Hanuman or our half split. Again, hands can be on the floor or on the blocks. Left hip is over that left knee. Right leg is actively reaching the toes up for the sky. Foot is flexed. The leg is straight. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Straight spine. Exhale, fold over that right leg for 1. Inhale up. Exhale, fold for 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold and hold it here. Right leg is still active, foot is flexed. Feel like you're reaching your toes not only up to the sky, but back towards your head. It's a great stretch for the hamstrings here, that right leg. One more breath. Inhale, come up and step that right foot back, coming into our plank pose. Lower down knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, coming into our downward facing dog for 3 full breaths. Inhale, bend the knees, come up onto the toes, gaze in front of the hands. Exhale, walk or jump your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms up, Tadasana. Exhale, hands to prayer. Beautiful. Let's take the feet and place them about hip distance apart. We're going to come up onto the toes, reach the arms out in front of us, and with the heels lifted, we're going to bend the knees, coming into a squat. And just come as far down as you can so that there's no pain or discomfort in the knees. And once you've come down as far as you can, we're going to slowly lower down into a seated position with the knees bent. Hands come right behind the knees, and we're going to engage the core muscles and float the feet up so that the shins are parallel to the ground, coming into Navasana or boat pose. One thing we want to be conscious of here is the back and the shoulders. If you find yourself kind of sinking in the back and rounding the shoulders, see if you can lengthen and extend through the spine, reach the chest forward, gaze slightly up. And if you want to challenge yourself here, you can remove your hands from behind the knees, place them alongside the legs, maybe even straighten the legs for an extra challenge. We're going to slowly lower down 1 inch at a time, reminding ourselves to breathe. Nice and slow with control. And all the way down. Beautiful. Bend the knees. Take that right leg and cross the right ankle just above that left knee. We're bringing our legs into a figure 4 position. So there's a triangle we've created with that right leg. You can stay here if you're feeling this enough in that right hip. If you want to get a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can go ahead and take your right hand, place it in between the triangle of the right leg we created. Left hand's going to go around the other side of that left leg. We're going to clasp the hands just on that left shin, pulling the legs closer towards the body for a deeper stretch in that right hip. Keep that right foot flexed here. And then using the strength of your right leg, push the right knee away from you if you can. So opening up, breathing into this stretch. Holding it here, 1 more breath. And slowly lowering that left foot down. Arms come out to the side like a letter T. Right leg is going to cross over that left leg completely, so it's wrapping around. We're going to shift the hips over to the right just a little bit and slowly lower the knees down to the left and gaze over to the right. So we're coming into a recline twist here. Twisting is one of my favorite ways to end a yoga practice. Not only does it feel really good, but it's also very healthy for our spine. Twisting helps neutralize the spine after a practice, especially where we've been forward folding or doing heart openers. So 1 more breath right here in this twist. And slowly bring the knees up, uncross the legs, bring the hips back to the center. And let's take that left foot and cross that left ankle just above that right knee, coming into our figure 4 with the left leg bent, and either staying here if this is enough, or clasping the hands around that right shin and pulling the legs in closer. Left foot is flexed, and with the strength of the left leg itself, just see if you could push that knee, that left knee, further away from you, just to intensify that stretch. Breathing into any space you feel needs to soften a little bit. And lowering that left foot down, arms come out to the side, left leg wraps around the right, hips shimmy over to the left just a little bit, lower the knees to the right side and gaze to the left, coming back into our twist on the other side. Taking a moment to find some stillness right here. And slowly bring the knees back up, Uncross the legs, bring the hips back to the center. Bring the arms in closer to the body and just extend one leg at a time. Feet are just gonna naturally flop open to the side. Palms are facing up. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. Tuck the chin and close your eyes. We're setting ourselves up for our final resting posture of today's practice, Savasana. So staying here with the eyes closed, chin is gently tucked so you feel a lengthening in the back of the neck. Palms are up, receptive to the energy around us. Relax your feet and relax your ankles and your heels. Let them grow heavy. Feel the backs of your knees just begin to melt down a little closer to the earth. Relax your shoulders and soften your jaw. Relax all the muscles around your mouth and around your nose. And let your eyes sink a little deeper to the back of their sockets. Feel the space on your forehead begin to widen and soften, and just allow your awareness to rest right there. We're just ending today's practice the same way we began, by connecting to the breath, finding some stillness, thanking ourselves for showing up today. And I'd recommend that you stay here in Savasana for another 5 to 10 minutes if you can. Whenever you're ready to come out of it, just keep your eyes closed and very gently and slowly make your way out. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today's practice. I hope to see you again. Namaste.